It seems it's been a while since you cared. Since you opened your heart to the possibility of repair, the dimension, I'm an engineer. Let me mend the broken pieces of your heart, redesign the defensive mechanism as I wrap my own heart around yours to shield you from these shockwaves and explosions. See, your heart is like a vast void of empty space filled with black holes from your dark past and present. This gas bowls collapse the titanium walls you're built around yourself for protection. So let me ask you a question. Why are you always wearing someone else's hair when yours can never go out of fashion? But it's still amazing how those dimples make up for your inability to smile. They are like valleys in your skin where your tears sink. They are lakes that break forth when your eyes blink. Let me walk you through the moonlight. When the mood is just right, when you let my lips kiss your tears goodbye. Let me be entranced by the smell of your perfume as it takes me high as the moon. But when she answered, I nursed injuries. They say the truth hurts. She told me I was too obsessed with her looks. I said, I'm just trying to spit my game. She said, Shallow must be your middle name. She said she was only alone because she was trying to stay pure. And of the men that she met were just so immature. She said, Miko mutima bunch. You acting like a kid, but what in mufiash? She said, you're the kind of fools that make it so hard to keep your innocence. All you want to do is get in between the sheets. She said her Brazilian hair was just a veil, and if only she could trust me, she could tell me her secret. But she couldn't, because she didn't trust me. So I tried to win her with charm. I said, girl, my heart is Gaza. And no woman's land that all the girls would fight for, but only if you ask, it could be yours. I could be your Shakespeare. You could be the poems that I write. I could be the masses. You could be my pole in the white. See, when she answered, she said, I do not want to hear all the stupid things you have to say. You and your ego could both fly away. I said, I'm sorry, I am just a guy. If only you would let me try, I promise I could be different. Let my passion fall in love with your pain. Let my touch heal your broken spirit. Let my hands pick up the clay with my bare hands. Let me take the clay and mold the cave in your heart where your spirit and mine could find rest. See, I took it for granted that her Brazilian hair was a sign of insecurity. I thought she was weak. I thought she lacked self-esteem. But boy, was I wrong. I was blind. I should have seen the signs. See, there was a passion in her eyes. Flames that burnt me as I walked through the furnace of her pride. See, her words were like butcher's knives, cutting through my raw flesh like a rake in the grass, like molester's fingers caressing the back of a child. Every stroke cut me deep as miles. She dropped bombs and bombs and bombs. My ears were Nagasaki. She was the United States of America. These nuclear weapons annihilated my misconceptions. She guarded her heart with garrisons. See, she said it was like the Pentagon on 9/11. I took desperate shots of the twin towers of her self-esteem till I unleashed the beast underneath her skin. And she told me, your heart has been laden with sin. She told me a long time ago she was locked in the same prison that I was in. She told me this man was lashed with whips, but those whips were like tattoo needles drawing a map on Schofield's back. He set me free. She said all I had to do was believe. The door was wide open and I was too dumb to leave. She said soon she was gonna see this man who saved her life. And I was confused. See, when she took off her Brazilian hair, she was bold. See, this chemotherapy was eating up her body, but it was real with her soul. Black the Panther. I fell down on my knees and I told her to stop mourning. I told her to stop mourning, that she was gonna be alright. But she told me that her cancer was already in the night. She said it was too late. So I said, before the clock strikes midnight, will you let me have this dance? Maybe this time I could do it right. If only I could love you like this Christ. If it means I have to speak Jewish. Ani ohev otah. Will you let me love you for the rest of your life? So she took off her glass slippers. She took off her glass slippers. She started walking towards me. As she started walking towards me, she leaned on my shoulder and she dropped a tear. She told me to hold her closer. But before she could whisper in my ears, she died. See, I fell down and I kissed a cold cheek and I cried. But not for her. See, I cried tears of joy for myself. She led me back to Christ. See, she loved me for the last moments of her life like she once loved her natural hair. She loved me with no chemicals, no cosmetics, just unconditional love. She showed me a metaphor that existed in life that I'd never seen before. She showed me that every man is like a strand of hair placed on a foreign sphere only for a fixed time frame, soon to be replaced by another generation. She said time was the determining factor, that I was not my own, and hair without a head is like a slave without a master. And I was mastered by sin, but she showed me that if Christ could save me and the whole world could follow the same pattern, we could all be 7 billion strands in one giant weave of Brazilian hair.